Good day everyone, welcome to Learn F&B Service with me Arun Kumar. Today we are going to see an interesting topic called wine. Okay, uh, as the earliest traces find, wine is one of the oldest alcoholic beverages that was conceived by humans. Okay, it is one of the very first alcoholic drink that were consumed by the humans. Today we are going to see the classification of the wines according to their categories. Okay. First of all, wine is an alcoholic drink typically made from fermented grapes. Okay, what is meant by fermentation? Fermentation is nothing but it is a process that yeast is converting the sugar into ethanol or ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide is known as fermentation. Naturally, the yeast is present in the skin of the grape and sugar is present in the pulp of the grape. Once we uh, combine the skin and the pulp, we will start the fermentation process. So that the fermentation process will get started. After that, what happened? The yeast present in the skin react with the sugar present in the pulp of the grape, and it produces ethyl alcohol, or we can also call it as ethanol, simply alcohol also. Alcohol and carbon dioxide, it will release the carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. That was given in the second point. As we know, the wine is produced from either black grape or white grape. All black grape and white grapes are used to produce wines. In market, we are having a lot of grape varieties are produced, but not all of the grape varieties are used for wine production. There are some certain categories are limited for to produce wines, and the color, the flavor and the aroma of the wine are influenced by the type of the grape which we are using in the wine production. Then we are moving to the topic called classification of wine. This is very important when we are studying about the wine. Okay, wines are classified into three major contents. Okay, the first one is the color, the second one is the taste, and third one is content. Okay, from color we are separating the wines into four categories, subcategories, like red wine, white wine, rosé wine and blush wine. According to taste, we are classifying the wine into three subcategories called dry wine, sweet wine and medium wine. Then the third category, content, it is divided into four categories: still wine, sparkling wine, fortified wine, aromatized wine and tonic wine. Like five categories content. First, we are wine is classified on the basics of, we already see that color, taste and content. Now we are going to see the wine, how the wine is classified into the type of color. Okay, first we are going to see red wine. Red wine is a type of wine made from dark colored grape varieties. Okay, the actual color of the wine can range from intense violet from typical young wines through the brick red for mature wines and brown for older red wines. Okay, how the wine is getting its color? It's from only from its skin. We are not going to add any type of chemicals or any coloring agents to bring out the color for the wine. The color is naturally coming from the skin of the grape. Okay, what we are doing, we are crushing the grape. After that we are putting the crushed grape into a fermentation tank. That time we are allowing the skin to remain it with the pulp. Okay, so that time what will happen, the coloring, the colors present in the skin of the grape will attracted by the pulps. Then the wine is started changing its color also. Okay, the skin is allowed to remain with the fermenting must either till the last or the process or by the halfway. The coloring pigments present in the skin give the color. You are seeing that in the picture you are seeing one tank, right? That is the fermentation tank. Okay, what we are doing, first we are harvesting the grapes from the vineyards. Vineyards means grapeyards. In French we are name vine, vine is known as grapes. Okay, what we are doing, we are harvesting the grapes from the vineyard. After that, we are destemming it. We have to remove the stalks in the grapes. Okay, after that, we are putting that in a large tank like this, and what they are doing in traditionally means they are using rubber boots. Okay, rubber boots, and they get inside the tank and they are pressing the grapes by their feet itself. Okay, that is the very traditional method to make a wine. After that, what will happen, that I told you before that the yeast present in the skin of the grapes react with the sugar present in the pulp of the grape. Okay, then the fermentation process will get started. Next, we are going to see white wine. Okay, we know that the red wines are made from red grapes. Okay, but white wines, in the, if you are saying it's a white wine, it is not only the grape which we are using to produce white wine is a white grape. We can able to use any kind of grape to make a white wine. Let's see how it is possible. White wine is a fermented without skin contact. That is the main point. Okay, if you are using red grape also, we can able to produce white wine. How means, when before the fermentation gets started, once the wines, that means grapes are pressed, that time itself if we remove the skin of the grape, what will happen, if we remove the skin of the grape, what will happen, the color will not become dark. Okay, the color can be stray yellow, yellow green, or yellow gold. It depends upon the grape variety which we are using. Okay, the major thing to get achieve a color or a taste or aroma for a wine is what type of grape variety which we are using for it. Okay, the white wine is produced by the alcoholic fermentation of the non-colored pulp of grapes. Okay, it is produced from both white grapes and red grapes also. When produced from black grapes, the skin must be removed soon after crushing. I told you before this thing. Okay, what we are doing, after pressing the grape, we have to remove the skin immediately, so the color will not get changed. So we can able to achieve stray yellow color. Then we are going to see a rosé wine. These are all the grape varieties which we are using for producing wines. Barbera, Brunello, Gamay, Pinot Noir, Merlot, Shiraz are the red grapes. Then the white grapes like Chardonnay, Riesling, Pinot Blanc, Pinot Gris, Cheviot Blanc, and Chenin Blanc. It is a type of wine that incorporates some of the color from the grape skin, but not enough to qualify as a red wine. Okay, this is also like a red wine process. Okay, I told you before this. If you are leaving the skin with its pulp for a long time, we can able to achieve bright red color. Okay, for rosé wine, what we are doing, we will stop the coloring process in the middle itself, so we can able to achieve pale color. We are achieving, when we are achieving the rosé color, we will stop the coloring process. We will remove the skin on that time, and the rest of the process will continue, so we can able to achieve a rosé color for our wine. Okay, the wine is light pink in color, which is produced from the mixture of white grapes and red grapes, or only from red grapes. Mostly we are using only red grapes. The combination of getting white grapes and red grapes is very rare case. Okay, 24 to 36 hours depending upon the intensity of the color required. That means we are allowing from 24 hours to 36 hours after pressing the grapes. We are allowing the skin to present in the must itself, that is 24 to 36 hours. Once the required color obtained, we will remove the skin naturally. Okay, it is illegal to permitted in some countries. Some countries, what they are doing, they are blending some red wine or white wine to balance the color. Okay, that will not change the color of the wine, but it will affect the quality of the wine. If we are doing it by naturally, we can able to achieve the taste also. But we are mixing some quality of some, if we need to achieve a good color, if we are adding red wine or a white wine, what will happen, that time the taste will differ. Okay, then we are going to see blush wine. This is a very new style of wine developed in California of USA. United States of America. Now, what they are doing, the skins of the black grapes are allowed to macerate with the must for a very short period. Okay, not like for rosé wine. For a very short period, we are allowing the skin to contact it with the pulp. So we are getting the blush. The resulted in very light pink in color. Blush wine is very pale in pink in color. Okay. Okay, then the next thing is we are going to see how the wines are classified in the terms of taste. Okay, due to taste, we are classified the wines are into three categories. The first one is a dry wine, the second one is a medium wine, the third one is a sweet wine. Okay, first we are going to see how the dry wines are classified. It is produced when all the sugars are converted into alcohol. Okay, I already told you before that the process of wine starts from yeast from the skin uh, converts the sugar into ethanol or ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide. Okay, what here now is happening? The yeast eats all the sugar and converts ethanol and carbon dioxide. Then it will become dry wine. To make a dry wine, the winemaker will instead let the fermentation process finish completely, allowing the yeast to consume all the sugar present. If the yeast consume all the sugar, there is no sweetness in that wine. Then it will become a dry wine. No more sugar, and so no sugar sweetness. Therefore, the wine is known as classified into dry wine. Okay. The second one is a sweet wine. It is obtained from when there is some sugar left after the fermentation. Okay, mostly what the breweries are doing, the fermentation, they will stop the fermentation process naturally or intentionally to make a sweet wine. Okay, what they are doing, if the fermentation will happen in a very big fermentation tank. Okay, if you are going to visit a breweries in Italy or France or in Spain or Portugal, what they are doing, they press the grapes by either by manually or by machinery. After that, they will transfer that pressed grapes into a large fermentation tank. That in that tank only the fermentation process will get started. Okay, after if we need to get a good sweet wine, what they are doing before the fermentation process stops, before the yeast eats all the sugar, we will stop the process. How they are doing it, the process, they will remove it from the tank and they will started separating the skin and the wine. So the fermentation process will get stopped by intentionally. Therefore, we will get sweet wine. So we can able to achieve a little sweetness in our wine. The fermentation process will get stopped naturally or intentionally by the manufacturer sometimes. Okay. Then the medium wine. These kind of wines are categorized because this is not too much dry, not too much sweet. Okay, this is a medium wine. After the fermentation process, we can able to see a little sweetness in that wine. That is called medium wine. Next, we are moving into the topic content. Okay, content, how the wine is being classified. Content, the wines are classified into five major categories like still wine, sparkling wine, fortified wine, aromatized wine, and tonic wine. We will see one by one. Still wine. Still wine is a kind of wine obtained from the natural fermentation process. The CO2 produced during the process are allowed to escape. Okay, this is a normal table wine. Okay, the still wine is also known as table wine. This is a this is the wine produced with the natural fermentation process. How the fermentation process I explained before, if we follow the same steps, we will get the still wine. Normally the alcoholic content for the still wine is from 10% to 14%. You are seeing this picture, right? This is the still wine chamber. Okay, this is a cellar. We are calling this is a cellar. Mostly the cellars are in the back area of a hotel. Okay, the next one is a sparkling wine. Sparkling means from the name itself we can able to see this wine contains little spark in the when we are tasting it. Okay, these are the wine bottled with carbon dioxide produced during fermentation. Okay, this gas is preventing from escaping. I told you the fermentation process, the yeast in the skin of the grape react with the sugar in the pulp of the grape. What will happen? The yeast consume all the sugar and it will release ethanol or ethyl alcohol. Okay, that is the fermentation process. Over here, what we are doing, we are not allowing the CO2 to escape from it. That means we are not allowing the carbon dioxide to escape from the fermentation tank. So we can able to hold the carbon dioxide to give some fizz to the wine. Okay. The trapped gas is the result of secondary fermentation either in bottling or in the sealed tank. This is the, you are seeing in the picture, right? That is the champagne or sparkling wine. Okay. Due to the presence of carbon dioxide, we are able to see some bubbles on the top of the glass. The next one is a fortified wine. The fortified wine is nothing but the alcoholic strength of the wine increased by addition of brandy in a desired quantity. Okay, brandy is a type of an alcoholic beverage which is produced from the grape only. Okay, we are making brandy from grapes only. Okay, how we are making the brandy is a different thing. The same process how we are making the wine, it is the same process. After that we are distilling it. Once we get the wine, if we distill the wine, we will get brandy. Okay, that is a different topic. We will see that in the next class. Okay, yeah, the alcoholic strength of the wine increased by addition of brandy in a desired quantity. It may add during the fermentation or end of the fermentation. uh, when they will add the brandy, during the fermentation process or after the fermentation process. Mostly all the breweries are following adding brandy at the end of the fermentation, so that we can able to get a good quality of fortified wine. Okay, alcoholic strength of fortified wines varied from 16% to 22%. Fortified wines are known as, also called as heavy wines, because of the alcoholic content present in this wine is little more than the tonic wine or still wine or champagne or sparkling wine. Okay, this is a type of wine which have highest alcoholic content. That's why we are known terming it as heavy wine. Okay, examples are Port, Madeira, Sherry, Marsala, and Malaga. Then we are moving to aromatized wine. These are wines are fortified and aromatized with herbs, barks, spices, roots, etc. Okay, this is also like what we seen before. We are seeing um, fortified wine, right? This is also like a fortified wine. This is also fortified with brandy. When do after the fermentation process, we are adding the brandy in it. Then we are adding extra spices like cardamom, nutmeg, cinnamon. These kinds of herbs, barks, spices, roots are adding to get an aromatized wine. From the name itself, we can know that is a kind of wines consists a lot of aroma. We can able to get a lot of aroma when we are tasting the aromatized wine. Mostly the alcoholic content of the aromatized wine is between 14% to 20%. Vermouth is the most popular aromatized wine around the globe. Okay, this is a vermouth bottle. The single bottle which is showing in the picture is a vermouth bottle. Okay, then we are moving into the tonic wine. Originally made by monks at Buckfast, Devon, England. Okay, uh, I told you before this that the wine is the one of the earliest alcoholic beverages which was consumed by the humans. What they are thinking when they consume the wine, they are getting refreshed. Okay, um, some monks at Buckfast Abbey in Devon, what they are doing, they are adding some improvers, health improvers in the wine, and they tell this is a tonic. Okay, tonic, that they believe that the tonic wine gets relief from their stress and it will refresh them. So tonic wine have a very big history. Okay, Buckfast contains 15% of alcohol in the 750 ml green color bottle, UK version. Okay, this is a Buckfast tonic wine. Okay, Thank you. We will see you in a next video very soon. Thank you.